Dear Australians who are considering voting no on the marriage equality referendum, look, I watch BBC. I know what referendums are. So don't tell me that I don't know what the government in Australia is, because it is a similar government to what it is in London. I know what the referendums are, and I know that you don't have a government set up like America, so you don't have ultimate freedom of speech or ultimate freedom of religion and all that shit. I know that. However, though, that being said, I want to express my opinion, or I should say my detest, for those who are deciding to vote no for marriage equality in Australia. My first question to these anti-gay marriage people is number one, why is it, or how is it, going to affect straight marriage in any way, shape, or form? If you're a straight guy, nobody's asking you to suck a dick. And if you're a straight woman, no one's asking you to have scissor sex. So, what the fuck is wrong with, gay people allowing to be wed in Australia? Think about it. What's so wrong with it? If the United Kingdom collectively passed the law in 2014, I believe it was, when they made marriage equality legal, meaning same-sex marriage legal, then why can't Australia? So, if your mother country, the UK, passed marriage equality in 2014, why can't you? Because they have the same government system set up. They have a parliament too. They have that the laws dictate the land too. And yet, marriage, straight marriage I should say, isn't affected by gay marriage in the UK. It isn't. So why are you acting as if it is being affected when it clearly is not? Reason number two I have a detest for those who are voting no is that you're perfectly okay with suppressing basic human rights, civil rights I should say, to the LGBT community, whether we consider ourselves a part of the community or not. Now that's besides the point. You are actively saying, I'm okay with suppressing people's civil liberties. What the fuck? I'm a bisexual man. So if I was in a relationship with a woman and I was an Australian, I would be able to get married. But if I was a bisexual man as an Australian in a relationship with another guy, I would be denied marriage because I don't have the right marriage. I don't have the biblical marriage. And that's what most people who are voting no on same-sex marriage in Australia are going by. They're going by the biblical stuff. Look, I was a Christian. Not anymore. I'm not a Christian for more so of health reasons, but I bought into religion. I bought into that homophobic shit. But once I let go of religion, once I started to realize in high school, really, when I really started to recognize my bisexuality, but I couldn't pin it exactly yet. When I started to realize, by the time my senior year of high school, that the LGBT community are people too, I realized why I was repressing myself. I felt horrible about the way I was indoctrinated by a way of thinking that tells people that me, a bisexual, or anyone in the LGBT community is not human because of their sexual preference. You know, the thing is, I evolved. I was indoctrinated with homophobic thinking, and I kicked it in its ass and opened my mind because I felt the time was right to open my mind, especially senior year in high school. And I challenged the homophobic ideals I was raised with and found out I was completely fucking wrong because I found out I was a hypocrite on something. I was against racism. I knew racism was absolutely wrong. I knew racism was awful. But then I acted as if homophobia was okay. But then I joined a after school club, LGBT club. I realized I was fucking wrong. And I own that shit. I own that shit. And now today, I'm a proud bisexual male. Proud bisexual male. And was in the hospital, recovering from surgery actually, when gay marriage was passed legally in the United States. And there were people so pissed on social media that gay people were allowed to be wed. And there are people going to be pissed in Australia if gay people are allowed to be wed. And these are the people I'm talking to who are voting no. Why are you going to be pissed? So you're okay with denying people's basic civil liberties? That's fucking wrong. If I could find out I was wrong and own it, then you people can admit to yourselves that you're wrong on wanting to deny people their basic civil liberties. So, let me give you another scenario here. If segregation became a thing in Australia, if Jim Crow laws became popular in Australia, if there were racist white Australians who wanted to segregate black Australians, you would probably say that's wrong, right? Well, if it's wrong to segregate people based on skin color, why is it okay to deny the LGBT community their basic civil liberties? Third reason I detest those who deny basic civil liberties to the LGBT community who are voting on the Australian referendum is this reasoning. When you hear people say it's in the Bible that gay marriage is wrong, and you use that talking point to make your point across, two things come to my mind. Number one, either you are part of the LGBT community and don't want to admit it to yourself, or number two, you are genuinely a bigot and actively love denying people their civil liberties. And look, there's a lot of closeted LGBT people who come off as very homophobic because they don't want to admit to themselves that they're gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender. It happens all the time. Actually, that's quite a good amount of the stories of LGBT community. A portion of it is that they felt weird to begin with. But a lot of the time it's, I acted very homophobic, repressing my own sexuality, and pretended that I was straight. That's a lot of the stories. So, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these people voting no are actually closeted gays, lesbians, bisexuals, or transgender people themselves. A fourth reason I detest these people who are voting no on the same-sex marriage Australian referendum is this. And ask yourselves this honestly. Put yourself in the LGBT community shoes in Australia. People already see you in the religious community as a degenerate for loving to lick vagina or suck dick. Or both. Or they find you as a degenerate because you're transgender. Put yourself in that position. Okay? Put yourself in that position. Now, what I want you to do at this point now, placing yourself in that position, is how do you feel being called a degenerate for loving the same sex or both the opposite sex and the same sex, or wanting to transition because you felt you were born as the wrong gender? I want you to honestly put yourself in that position right now. It doesn't feel good, does it? No, it doesn't. It fucking sucks to be told that, oh, you're wrong because you love the same gender, or you're transitioning to the other gender. It doesn't feel good to be called a degenerate, does it? No, it doesn't. Now, I want you to also do something else. While you're in this position, I want you to be put in the position, imaginatively of course, that you're being vilified of your same-sex love for someone. Doesn't feel good, does it? Feeling love for someone, regardless if it's the opposite or same sex, you should not be vilified for having love for someone. Straight people are never vilified, but gay people sometimes, mostly, always are. Why? Oh, because apparently it isn't normal. Yes, it is. Actually, if you look at human nature, in the wild, I should say, animal nature, homosexuality is the most common. And then why is heterosexuality being pushed when, in retrospect, homosexuality is actually the most animal instinct thing that we could resort to by evolutionary standards, scientifically speaking? I get some people are strictly straight. I understand. I get some people are strictly gay. I get that. But I'm both. I'm bisexual. And I think everyone's a little bit bi-curious or bisexual. Because honestly, everyone has had thoughts of what it would be like to date the same sex or be a different gender, right? I know I have. Everyone has. These are just animal instinct thoughts. So, I want to pose this question to people like Bearing, that did open videos on voting no. And I gotta say, I gotta give you balls for putting your opinion out there while you're voting no on same-sex marriage. Balls given there. But, Bearing, and people like Bearing, I want you to answer this question. If someone told you that you were illegitimate because you love the same gender, or someone told you that you were illegitimate because you were the wrong race, or that someone told you were illegitimate because you have the wrong hair color, or that you were illegitimate because you're the wrong gender. Doesn't feel good, right? Well, if it doesn't feel good, I encourage you to vote yes for same-sex marriage in Australia. I encourage you to. I really do. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you next time.